This is a short video on part of Algebra 2 curriculum, solving equations. So there are 4 basic steps to follow. The first step is to distribute. So distributing is, let's remember what that looks like. And we're actually distributing, which is, it's a multiplication over addition. And we can also distribute multiplication over subtraction. These are distributions. So distributing multiplication over addition is a times b plus a times c. I'll put in the dots. The dots represent multiplication. Right? So we can also omit the dots. And it means the same thing. It means A is multiplied times B and A is multiplied times C. So the dots or no dots are equivalent expressions. Here, multiplication over subtraction is A dot B or A times B and A times C. Again, we can eliminate the dot and it means the same thing. So here we're going to try to distribute. The next thing we're going to do is simplify each side. Okay, so simplifying each side means we're going to combine like terms. So in here, like terms, we have a few different like terms. Like terms of variables or constants. In math, we call numbers constants. So let's look at them for a second. Constants. A constant can be 2, 11. It can also be negative 1/2. It can be something even more exotic, like pi or e or a square root of 2. So these are all constants. They're numbers. They don't change. We commonly refer to them as numbers. Also, pi is a number, e is a number, and the square root of 2 is a number, and they are all constants. They will go together, and then we have variables. Variables of the same type go together. For instance, if we look at this a, this is really saying we have 2 a's, right? Plus 3 a's. And if you have 2 of something and 3 of something, and you add them, you have 5 of them, right? We can use another variable. A common variable we used is x. And so if we had 4, this really means we have 4 x's, and if we take away 3 x's, we have 1 x left. So anyway, this should be review for you. Just wanted to remind you of what this means after simplifying each side, or we're going to move variables to one side. And so hopefully if you have just one variable, it will be the variable itself. On one side, if you have more than one variable, then you're going to pick. There will be a choice. Sorry. On one side, there'll be a choice of which variable you want to isolate. So for example, 5x equals 2x plus 3. These are, we're going to want to move the x's all over to one side. So I want to subtract 2x on both sides, and that leaves me 3x equals 3. So that's what I mean by moving variables to one side. Then we will generally solve, which is the last step. It is where we're going to use step 4 to solve the problem. Step 4 is really usually using inverse operations, inverse ops, to finish solving. Okay, so for example, let's look at the one here. This is 3x equals 3. In our inverse operation, we can see that 3 is multiplied by x and put in there 3 times x equals 3. The inverse operation of multiplication is division, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. If I took 3 x's and divided them into 3 groups, each group would have 1 x, and 3 over 3 is 1. Inverse operations. Let's do a quick reminder of inverse operations, addition and subtraction. are inverse operations, multiplication and division are inverse operations, and then power? Sure. Well, we'll do the simplest power. So square root and square root are inverse operations. So power to the 2 and root square root are inverse operations. There are more inverse operations, but you'll probably encounter this further on. And algebra in Algebra 2. All right, thanks for watching.